TV. I am not black.
Been through so much. Just thanking the Most High for pulling us through all of this. Thank you to the Holy Spirit, our mother, for bringing us through this. For her getting us ready for this switch. Her preparing us, bringing us back to knowledge of who we were before. Preparing us for the switch. So as we see the kingdoms falling, we understand what's going on. While they're running around here not understanding what's going on, we have understanding given to us by the Holy Spirit. Knowledge of what they were saying behind closed doors about us, while they were stealing our birthright blessing, while they were enjoying our blessing. Trying to pull at the heartstrings of the Israelites now because they are going under judgment. But they are just suffering all the same things that we suffered, and the Most High is returning that energy that they had for us. You must give mercy to receive mercy. Thank you, Mazarath Israel. Appreciate that. Great seeing you, Brother Moriel. Just want to definitely give all praises to the Most High. Thank Him. Thank you to the Source. Thank you again to the Holy Spirit. Thank you to the angels. Thank you to our ancestors. Because the last 7 years, 2017 to 2024, were very instrumental in finishing up the last rulership of the shepherds and the last testimony of the world. We know that, talking about the whole 400 years going on from between 1619 and 2019, and then the switch that happened in 2020. Now, that was the end of Trump's presidency, his stewardship of the Israelites. Okay? And what you can see is, like, at the end of whenever the shepherds seem to have our people in captivity, those countries are on top. So when you start looking at superpowers, whenever you're looking at superpowers, then you're looking at when they've had Israelites in their hands. So Spain, when they got a hold of the Israelites, they were on top. When they came over here to the fourth part, within a year of taking down the Moors in January, and then they discovered the fourth part in October of that same year, they brought that blessing over here to Spain. And Spain continued to be a juggernaut over here. And Portugal as well. Because again, they were having the control of the Israelites at that time. It was their time to be the shepherds, right? And you know that like back then, Mexico, when New Mexico and everything else, when they set that stuff up over here in the fourth part, they were so rich. They had all this money. You've seen it, Sister Lisa. All this gold and silver and everything, and land and resources. And then Spain became a superpower, right? So when they ran that into the ground, then Mexico, as you see today, is like is a rundown country that, is, they even talk about it themselves. Like it's not ruled by the rule of law. It's ruled by cartels. It's not, the great lands that it used to be before the Spaniards got here. But they, stole all the resources and everything else. And then ran that place into the ground. And all these other countries that they found the Israelites, that all this money and gold and resources, they took all that out of it. And now, they're just like a shell of themselves, right? America, 1776 became like a superpower. 1940s became like the main superpower after World War II, right? All of that again, because they had the Israelites under their thumb, right? And it's been a steady decline because as we come to the end of our time of being under their thumb, under the control of those Gentile nations, those countries get worse and worse. They just like Rome, just got worse and worse over the time because they're shepherds. They only have a certain amount of time to rule. Same thing with America. 1619, 2019. Then that was a switch. That's when the shutdown happened. That's when everything shut down for a couple of years, right? Now, during that period was the Biden administration. And that was the time that if you go to Genesis 15:13, we were supposed to have come out with great substance, correct? Let's go there real quick. Genesis 15:13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Now the land was ours, and it still is ours, but it was under the rulership of one of the final shepherds. They were in charge at that time, right? Okay? And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. Shut down. Starting in 2020. He's beginning judgment at that time. And afterward shall they come out with great substance. Now, I was doing some, during the Biden administration was when they should have been trying to make things right with us. But they doubled down on destroying our people, continuing on with the lie, and blessing others with our resources. You guys had all this time, 1965, when you really started letting a lot of the third world nations come in and get their piece of the pie. Before, you were letting a lot of European nations come in, and you had quotas on who could come, how many other from all these other third world brown nations could come in. But in 1965, you allowed more and more people. You changed those numbers and allowed way more people to come in at that time in order for them to enjoy the last bits of this kingdom's blessing. Get up to 2020. And you should have started to make things right, let the world know who we are. Start to profess these things out here, because you're going to profess them anyways. You should be letting the world know that these are the Israelites. We've had the Israelites in our control, and that we are now going to be receiving these curses, and that we should be blessing these people. but you tripled down on more lies. It's funny how everybody goes, "Oh, you black people always changing. You're saying that you were Muslims. They said you were African, and then you're saying that you're African American, and now you're saying that you're Native American." It's funny because it's like, "Oh, you guys just don't know who the hell you are." Well, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that we don't know who we are? That is all part of prophecies, that we were not going to know who we are. So 2020 comes around and you triple down by open up the borders and allowing all of these people to just come on over, and the money that you should have been giving back to us, you gave to any and everyone who wanted to cross the border. And I was looking up, and Doge said, I try to look it up, and like, how much money have we spent on illegal immigrants during the Biden administration? And it says that it can't even like figure it out. I'm like, just give me like an estimate. It's like I can't even figure that out. That's what AI just said. I can't even figure out how much money that they've given the immigrants, the illegal immigrants, because when they got here, they just gave them cell phones, money, and a certain amount of money every single month, and they've just been supporting these people for the last few years, right? Letting them, just giving them, hey, you're here, giving kids money, giving people, giving adults money, giving families money, putting them up in housing, giving them money for vehicles, giving them money for this, giving them money for that. Again, money they didn't have. Money they didn't even have. Money that was ours. So you've been living off of giving all the vassals and blassels our money. And that's just a prime example. You have 33, 34, 35 trillion dollars of debt, but you are giving money to the immigrants that are coming over here, to any and everyone but us. But again, that is your last and final testimony. That is your final testimony. That was the bridge between Trump 1 for the Gentiles, the Gentile Trump, and now the one that works for the Most High's people. In the middle, you had your opportunity to start to try to make some amends here, and you chose not to do that. So Doge said just in 2023, it estimated that, I want to say, the federal government gave $150 billion to the illegal immigrants in just 1 year. So you go multiply that by 4, at least, at a minimum, $600 billion to just the illegal immigrants alone. That's what it came up with as an estimate. This is an estimate. This isn't even like what some of the sanctuary cities are probably paying and giving and everything else, state by state. So if you're saying close to $1 trillion in 4 years. But like they always say, they don't have money for reparations. They don't have money for us so-called Negroes. But they have around $1 trillion to give to just the illegal immigrants that were coming in for a 4-year period. But if you look at 2017, 2024, around a 3.5 year period was around when Trump was there. And the last 3.5 year period was when Biden was there. So Trump, y'all had your opportunities to have the whole thing with Colin Kaepernick, and you saw him taking a knee. You got an opportunity to, make amends. And you didn't do that. Biden comes in, and you get your Harris saying things like, I'm not going to do anything to help black people, only black people. I'm not going to do anything to help only black people. I want something where everyone's going to benefit. So there's your mindset again. See, we're not in a time period where everyone benefits anymore. We're not in a time period where everyone is supposed to benefit anymore. That time was from, well, pretty much pre-2020. That's when, and it wasn't even everybody. That was when Psalms 83 benefited. Because we didn't benefit. So you can't say when everyone benefited. It's everyone involved in Psalms 83 madness was benefiting. And see, like you guys are doing, now Psalms 83, you guys are not going to war with each other. That's all smoke and mirrors. That's all smoke and mirrors to try to make it seem like your prophecies are what's being fulfilled. But it's very evident that you guys are just out there being all fugazi, talking all this mess and never following through with anything. Because you already know that's all Psalms 83 working together to push Psalms 83 prophecies. So now what you're seeing with Trump now, Trump 2, that's been put back in office by the Most High, he is now, first and foremost, this is all Psalms 83. These are all people that were given, giving the dainties back and forth and the postcards and the money, like in Revelation 11, they're sending all these good things back and forth to each other. That's what you guys have been doing. Now the switch is on, and the switch is going rapidly. People are like, they're showing the sob stories of people being deported, being sent back. They're being, they're communicating, getting their phone calls. I mean, look at these videos between like husbands getting sent back or mothers being sent back and tearing up families. And all of those were things that like you guys have watched. You've been a part of this the whole time. You've watched all these things happen to our people. You've been part of it. All of you other nations, Psalms 83, you vassals, you have been a part of this, directly and indirectly. Because you guys watched it happen to us, and you gave no energy about how these things were wrong. And now, the Most High is now using Trump to fix the situation. Because the Most High said he gave you opportunities. He gave you opportunity. I mean, this is Proverbs 1 to the T. You hear some of them talking about, oh, well, we still got to have faith. We got to pray to Jesus, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's not helping you. I said, that's not helping you. You know what I'm saying? Like that is not going to help, because you guys the time of making amends has passed. You go to Proverbs 1. Proverbs 1:19. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. You took away our lives. We are the owners. We are the owners. Most High gave us these lands. We are the owners, and you guys took our lives. And if you didn't take it, you watched them take it and didn't say a word. Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She was crying out in the wilderness without. She was without her children, because you guys have taken her away. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. So the simple ones would be us, who are also like living in simplicity, not wanting to know the truth, being parts of their churches. And the scorners delight in their scorning. You other nations, Psalms 83 has been scorning us, and you delight in that scorning. And fools hate knowledge. Vassals, Edomites, they hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof, behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Most High, let the Holy Spirit, let these words be known unto you. Especially the last 7 years, 2017, 2024. We've been going hard, bringing out information, bringing out knowledge, bringing out understanding, showing you what was going on. This is going on right here. This is what's going on right here. This is the Most High is talking to you right now, and you didn't want to hear it. Okay? Because I have called, and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. You're like, nah, white Jesus got me. Nah, white Jesus got it all. White Jesus knows what's going on. Who the hell are you? You guys don't know anything. You're black. Black people don't know anything. Only white Jesus knows everything. Okay? All right. But I have called and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set it not all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. That's exactly what you're seeing going on right now. And this is just the beginning. So the Most High says, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, and when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall ye call upon me, but I will not answer. They will seek me early, but they shall not find me. Well, your church has said, no matter when, no matter what, Jesus will come for you. If you just ask, Jesus will come into you. If you just ask, Jesus will forgive you. See, this is that you know that is not true. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Most High. They would none of my counsel. They despise all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. What you did to us will happen to you. You will be filled with your own devices. How you treated us is how you will be treated. How you gave the energy of not caring of these things happening to us, the Most High already set us aside and said, this is not your fight. Most High said, I've got this. I will dictate what's going to happen going forward now. Vengeance is mine, saith the Most High. And they double down with, let's just give more money to the immigrants. Let's just continue to make Israelite even more jealous. Let's just put people right in their neighborhoods and just give them money so they can live rent-free, free food, free housing, vehicles. They can just have a party for the next 4 years in front of Israel, in front of God's chosen people. Just to show how much we hate you, we're going to give money to these people and throw them in your neighborhoods and make it seem like we're going to try to replace you with them. And the Most High allows you to do that for 4 years. He said, okay, you already know. I already gave you your warning. I shut down your whole society so that you could come out of this and start to bless my people. And you double down by bringing more people into this country, our country, and giving them more money and putting them in our neighborhoods in order to make us jealous. Grace and Sister Didiya. Grace and Tom Christian. You see what I'm saying? That and now you're seeing you guys voted because you wanted, they were bringing all the people in, but you wanted to go ahead and continue with your blessing, so you voted Trump back in. And now Trump is switching everything. He's making it so that people are scared to leave their homes. He's bringing all this knowledge to the forefront about the 14th Amendment concerning our people only. He's making you hear that law that allowed you to come over here was not for you. That's what you should be hearing. that law that we used to let you come over here and get the blessings here was never for you. You see what I'm saying? That was the whole thing. That's what you guys should be hearing today. If that law wasn't for us, then what justification do we have for being here for the last 60 years and getting all this money, all these dainties, all this land, having all these great times? And this goes all the way back to Ellis Island, 1900s, 125 years. Because those Europeans too. They're only talking about the ones that just got here recently, last 6 years. But look, all you other Eastern Europeans, that applies to you too. That goes back to the 14th Amendment, which was not talking about you either. So just a few things just to kind of think about, because as you see now, I guess, they're going to pass his spending plan, his big, beautiful bill, he says, Trump. And they like double or triple, I'm going to say triple the money for ICE in that bill. They have all this money for detention centers. They definitely owe a cosmic debt. Definitely. This is just what we're seeing here. But there's a spiritual cosmic debt, karma, that has to be paid as well. Now your churches have been telling you, you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay for the sins of your fathers. Does it not look like you're not paying for the sins of your fathers right now? Does it still look like, because you keep saying, I can't believe this is happening. Why is this happening? Well, you guys here didn't do anything. You've been here working hard for 20, 30 years. But all of a sudden, you can't leave the house. You can't go to work. You can't take care of your family. What's happened that all of a sudden these perils have come upon you? You didn't do anything wrong. You've gone to work, gone to mass, gone to church, given your life to white Jesus. You listen to what the priests say. You pay your bills. You help each other out. You hate Negroes. You hate black people. You told your daughter, don't bring one of them home. You told your son, don't bring any of them home. You've done all these things. But for some reason, Trump has just turned on you for no reason. Why is that? If Jesus said, just call on my name and everything will be okay, and you've been calling on Jesus, why are these things happening to you? Because see, your pastors and priests have been lying to you. Your people getting snatched up off the street and being sent back to their countries of origin. The Cubans going to church, voted for Donald Trump, thought they were close to whiteness, but then Trump turned around and just with a stroke of a pen made them from being legal, good Republicans, hard workers who controlled Miami, who, took care of their own people and everything else, to being switched to being criminals. Why is that? Because you are paying for the sins of your ancestors. Just like you told us that that's not true, now you're seeing it is true. Your ancestors made a deal with the devil, came over here, and from like 1965 till 2025, the devil allowed you to enjoy the dainties of the Americas. All they did was they had a law that they said, 14th Amendment applies to all immigrants. All you guys can come on in here. Okay, that was the deal that your forefathers made with the devil. That's why you're hearing people like, I'm first generation, I'm second generation for the most part. That's what they say. Because your forefathers made a deal with the devil to come over here and steal our resources and make the true Israelites jealous. That's what you've done. And now it's time to pay the piper. And your grandparents, parents, great-grandparents maybe, got to enjoy all the blessings of our lands. Now the Most High is here to collect. And for the last 7 years, I mean, we can just say at least, I mean, we've been longer, but it's just in the last 2017, 2024. The stars, the eclipses, were giving you a sign. They were giving you a sign. From 2017, first eclipse, going America this way. 2024, America went the other way. Made the X over America. Made that X over America. 2025, Trump is here, and Trump is now cleaning house where that X was made. (2025), Trump is clearing off the lands of our ancestors. And as you can see, no one's talking about this. No one's talking about the timing of this. X marks the spot. It went over in 2024, 2025. Look at what the hell is going on right now. You think this is coincidence? I don't know why this is happening. You don't? You can't see? All of a sudden Trump told you that the 14th Amendment was for so-called black people. In 2025, after the X marks the spot here in the Americas, I've shown you guys pictures of the dove over America and the keys of Enoch. The Holy Spirit descending on America, descending on Donald Trump to make him say things like the 14th Amendment was only for black people. That 14th Amendment was talking about America. 14th Amendment was talking about the so-called children of slaves being restored. 40 acres and a mule. Land given back. And in 2025, now you're seeing millions of people being removed. But you want to tell us again about how America is about to be destroyed by nuclear war. There can't be a nuclear war when it's Psalms 83 and they're working together. As you can see, they don't want to fight. They're not trying to fight at all. Maybe a little bit, but hey, I'm gonna send some missiles. Make sure you guys move everything. Don't show any pictures though. Oh, we didn't take any damage. We don't need to show y'all any pictures. Okay. Exactly. They think their pontification matters, and it does not whatsoever. It does not matter whatsoever. Because the stars have spoken. The X marks the spot. The eclipse going over America is absolutely huge. Not a real brawl at all, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, so now all these people keep looking at the post, all these videos. I can't believe this is happening. Why is Trump? It's Trump is because we voted for Trump. Okay, no. This was already preordained. How many thousands of years ago was it already set up to have this X marks the spot over America? It's just that Trump was there at the beginning. And that's crazy, isn't it? Trump was the president at the beginning of the 7 years in 2017. And now he's been brought back afterwards, and he's being used to begin the cleaning house situation. So just to let you know, this is not man that's doing this. This is the Most High. And this is just the beginning. Now look, all that money and resources that you guys are going to be leaving behind is going to come back to us. You're not taking all that with you, because the Most High said we're going to be coming back with great wealth. That $1 trillion just in the last 4 years you guys have been spending on illegal immigrants that should have been going back to us, we're going to get all of that too with interest. That's just the last 4 years, $1 trillion that you guys have spent on that one group of people. Not even talking about the other Europeans and whatever else and how much money they've accumulated over the last couple thousand years, but especially since 1492 in here. This is why you get double, because you guys double down against us. Exactly. And then no U-Haul service where you guys are going. You're not going to be able to take all this stuff you guys have gotten. So you got to think, all of you guys who've been here since the 60s, who've built up multiple homes, multiple houses, all this money, all of this wealth, you're not going to be able to take that with you either. You're not going to be able to take that with you. How do I know that? X marks the spot. Judgment is here. Anything that was not yours, is not ordained to be yours in the first place, you will not keep. When you made that covenant, when your parents and grandparents made that covenant with Satan, they didn't tell you that, you're not going to be able to keep all the stuff you're working for. You're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to keep all that. That's my children's money. You've just been working on, they're even like sharecroppers. You're not taking any of that with you. Living off of our blessings, so you got a chance to have good memories, but that's about all you're going to be getting is those good memories. The actual tangible things that you had, you're not going to be able to keep. You've been working our share of the land. You've been getting resources from our share of the land. That's why I said you've been a sharecropper. But those shares are coming back to the originators, the original people who it was intended for in the first place. So I just wanted to talk to you guys. I might try to do another video later on, Most High willing. But I just wanted to touch on that because, like I said, you don't hear churches talking about the 2017, 2024 X marks the spot over America, and then conveniently in 2025, all hell is breaking loose. 2025, people just like, oh my, what's going on? I can't believe all this stuff is going on. Oh my gosh. But you didn't look at 2017 and 2024? You didn't look at all that? How we've been telling you guys that was going to be the end of your reign? Once I gave you 2020, shut everything down, got to 2024, and now 2025, nothing is ever going to be the same. So, like I said, it's time to give it up. You're going to give it up. Either you're going to do it willingly or the Most High is going to make you do it. Whichever one. You see people going to work and then they get pulled over and they get taken into custody and don't even make it back home. Whatever they had at the home is gone. Moms were I saw my mom going to one of her meetings. She got called into court to go to one of her meetings, and then they swooped in, and arrested her, and she was like, who's gonna pick up my kids? Like, I mean, it's like, hey man, that's tough. She was crying like, my kids, I'm gonna, and she's getting arrested. No way to get a communication with her kids. Kids were in school. But that's the kind of shit that happened to us. That's the kind of shit that happened to us. We'd be walking the streets, cops pull us over, plant some stuff on us, we're going to jail. No one to get a hold of it. It happened to our men and our women. Get shot, get killed, sons and daughters never see their parents again. been going on for hundreds of years. You know, our daughters walking home, like the way they like the way they look, pull them over, kidnap them, rape them, kill them, never see them again. And you guys have said nothing about that. You guys have said nothing about that. Because you thought it was okay, so long as it was us, it was never going to happen to you. But those days are now done. We will come together and talk about this more later on, family. Much love. Shalom.
Raw TV. I am not black. I am not black.